Hello again everyone and welcome back to Skyblock News. I'm your host Derailious and today we're going to be going over an update on the Alpha Network that includes a buff to the Rose Dragon. Before we begin though, make sure to like and subscribe, use code RAIL on the Hypixel store for 5% off your order, and without any further ado, let's get started. Starting off today, here we have the Rose Dragon in pretty much all of its glory. It is level 200 and it has all of its new stats and perks which have been updated as part of this alpha. So let's get into it. It gives you 100 speed, 40 farming fortune, has the perk Garden Power which grants you 3 farming fortune per farming level, has the perk Rosy Scales which grants you 0.15 farming fortune and 0.1 speed per crop milestone, has the perk Dragon's Gluttony, which increases the chance to drop rare items when breaking crops by 40%, has the perk Spiritual Perfection, which grants you 20% more copper from garden visitors and from analyzing mutations, and the perk Symbiosis. If you own a level 200 Rose Dragon, grants plus 3 farming fortune for every other unique maxed farming pet that you own. It is certainly a lot better than it was the first alpha. In terms of changes, here we go, they're on screen now. They renamed Awakening to Garden Power, they renamed Purity to Rosy Scales and changed its behavior to grant stats based on your crop milestones. They renamed Serenity to Dragon's Gluttony and buffed the chance to 40%. They buffed Spiritual Perfection to 20% and also applied it to mutations. They've also added the Symbiosis perk, and they've removed the health base stat and given it speed. It is a lot better now than it was before, and I think this will become part of pretty much every farmer's arsenal. However, in terms of its obtainment, we still don't know a lot. It's going to be likely coming from Llith, who is an extremely rare NPC to visit your garden. We just don't have all the information about it at the moment. I will update you guys when I can. Another new addition is the Abiphone contact for Jake. You can head over to him in his underground lab, and basically you'll need to give him a Chocoberry, which is a new mutation, in order to do so. Once you give him the Chocoberry, you will get his contact, and you will be able to access the crop analyzer from pretty much wherever you want. Next, we're going by everyone's favorite NPC, Carrolyn, to say, yes, now every single one of these bring 3,000 of XYZ to Carrolyn's give you 5 Skyblock XP. So yet another thing that you will need to do if you ever want to be maxed out. Next, there are a few other changes I want to go over. Notably, they fixed multiple soft locks in Sam's greenhouse tutorial, and it seems like they've also fixed a few soft locks in terms of the greenhouse itself. Seems way more consistent. They've also changed Helianthus's farming fortune stats. The helmet has gone from 70 to 35, the chest plate from 35 to 40, the leggings from 35 to 40, and the boots from 70 to 35. They've also added bonus pest chance to all farming armors. As you can see, Melon now gives you 10, 10, 10, 10, Crappie gives you 12.5 on all 4 pieces, Squash 15, Fermento 17.5, and Helianthus gives you 20 on every single piece. They've also removed the 3 times multiplier on Biohazard armor and instead buffed its base stats, giving you 16.5 bonus pest chance per piece. The design note specifically references the fact that they want Biohazard to be good for the early game, but they eventually want you to replace it by the time you get to Fermento, which makes a lot of sense. Another important change to mention, you are no longer able to trade any of the mutations. You have to go through the bazaar. The reason why they wanted to do this is because in the bazaar right now, if you've not analyzed a mutation, you are unable to purchase it or sell it. You need to actually unlock it in order to utilize it in the bazaar. So if you were able to trade different mutations between one another, you could basically bypass the market and fully utilize every single one of the mutations without unlocking them all. It's very clear that the team wants you to go out there in the world and unlock every single mutation if you want to buy and sell them. So this is just another step to make sure that happens. There are a few other bug fixes and improvements I want to go over. Notably, they've improved the crop analyzer minigame, making it easier to swap and select strings. They've made a bunch of improvements to the museum because they actually want it to work with this update, which is nice to see. They've added reaching certain garden levels to the Skyblock guide, as well as the DNA analysis milestones to the guide, so players will be easily able to see those specific milestones. They've changed the Manted Claw bonus from 0.1% to 0.25%. They've made XP capsules stackable and added an NPC sell price. Mutations are no longer tradable, which we already kind of went over. They've also increased the organic matter cap upgrade values for the composter, meaning you'll be able to store more organic matter within it. They've reduced the cost of Ethereal Vine of the greenhouse plot limit upgrade, so you will need less of it. They've rebalanced the visitor requirements for the Lotus and Blossom equipment bonuses. Trinity is now retroactively unlocked as a visitor if you've had him in an Abiphone contact before, and they've removed the overgrown dye. Vincent now has a 1 in 2.5k chance to give wild strawberry dye on the garden. This kind of makes sense. The overgrown dye just looked not too dissimilar to one of the other dyes that already exists. I forget the name of it. But regardless, now he'll give you wild strawberry at not too crazy of a rate. They've also added the dead plant to the bazaar. One last thing before wrapping up, the admins also have added the ability to actually get Llith in the hub when you complete their commission on the garden, meaning that's where you'll likely get the Rose Dragon. I imagine that players will be able to find out where Llith is pretty quickly, but that about does it for today. Make sure you like and subscribe, use code RAIL on the Hypixel store for 5% off your order, and look to the future, fellas. I'll see you then.